Sean here with Low Range Off-Road and another product review. Today we're taking a look at the different spring pads available for the Suzuki Samurai for when you're doing spring over axle. The first ones we'll take a look at are our standard saddle type spring pads. What makes these nice is on the ends they're bent over to give you a little bit more contact to the axle. They also have 3 holes built into them, so you can push the axle forward or backward about 1 inch if you need to. These are more for those that are on a strict budget with their Samurai build, but those are a nice spring pad, pretty well built for what they are. The next ones we'll take a look at are what we call our complete contact spring over axle pads. There are several different spring over axle pads on the market that are similar to these. Honestly, we didn't like them very much because there were still some drawbacks with them. They still didn't fully contact the axle, or they were not a flat top. They bend them so it gives it kind of an arch. Whereas these ones kind of alleviated all of the issues that we saw with the spring pads that were on the market. They are a little bit heavier than other ones on the market, but we figured that's what was needed to make it right. Now it starts with this 3/8 thick plate that is custom bent. We actually had to have a custom die made for those to bend that plate to fully match the axle tube. Then there are, I believe, 6 different or 7 different plates that are all TIG welded together to make these perches. They also have the 3 holes in them, so you can move your axle front or back if you need to. You'll also need to drill a couple new holes in your U-bolt plates to do that, but that's pretty easy to do. Now with all of these perches, you do have to remove the original, basically what these were is a bump stop mount, and to keep the U-bolts in place, but you do have to remove those to get these to mount on there. But what is nice about these is they do fully contact the axle. I'll move this out of the way so you can see it. But if you see here, it fully contacts the lower spring pad, as well as this one is actually for that side, but it'll fully contact the axle tube. So you can fully weld everything, and it's getting full support on the axle. The front ones do have 2 different ones, one for the driver's side and one for the passenger, because the axle tube on this side is larger diameter than this side because it's so close to the differential. The rears are shorter. You can see how much shorter those are, and the reason for that is because the rear springs are actually taller than the front springs on the Samurai, so the pads don't need to be as tall to give you the same lift. If you're doing some sort of another leaf spring like a Toyota with our Toyota leaf spring swap kit, or a YJ swap kit, sometimes you'll end up a little bit lower on the rear than you do in the front, and this is because of these spring pads, the way it ends up, because they're built for the Samurai springs, and with the YJ or Toyota springs you'll have that issue, so just go a longer shackle or something like that in those applications. If you have any questions or want to order any of these, please give us a call or log on to lowrangeoffroad.com.